This show is about your life, how to make it better, how to make more from it, how to love deeper, how to share it with others. This journey is about connection to your dreams, with topics centering on love, money, sexuality, and energy that unites it all. This show will change your life. For years, I've coached people in easy-to-learn skills and have seen incredible changes. I'm here to teach you those skills as a coach and hopefully a new friend. Hi, I'm Kyle. Come along with me as you move along your path of life success. Welcome to the Kyle Phoenix Show.
Hi, and welcome back to the Kyle Phoenix Show. So, I've again had lots of great responses from everybody out there, actually all across the world, which is really incredible. It's just a really kind of fascinating thing, this whole YouTube thing. But soon you'll also be able to not only see me on YouTube, but if you're in the New York 5 boroughs, you'll be able to see them on Manhattan Neighborhood Network. That is cable. It's carried on Time Warner Cable and RCN, and I think the other one is Cablevision. So we'll be distributing the shows throughout all of the 5 boroughs, and you'll be able to see it then. I don't know the exact times yet because you have to submit an application and everything, and then eventually they put together their programming for when my time slot will be. But I do know it'll probably be in the later evening after 11 p.m., probably midday, because there are 2 different slots that I chose. So you'll be able to put all this information together, as well as see more up-to-date interactive information, and maybe I'll even be able to do some kind of call-in where you can talk so that I don't have to rely upon getting emails from everybody and then answering questions. So let me jump right into the questions. Okay, let's deal with the first 2 questions. 2 of the questions about masculinity and femininity, particularly within gay men or same-gender loving or bisexual or curious. What is the whole masculinity thing? What is the whole femininity thing? So when I thought about the design of this show and what I wanted to convey and what I wanted to say, all of my workshops, a lot of my workshops, have been predominantly men of color. Latino men and African American men and Caribbean men, dealing with the aspects of their sexuality. First off, I think that anyone who can relate to having a sexuality that is other than the mainstream heterosexual sexuality will sympathize and empathize and understand that it is difficult. It's a difficult existence, not so much because of your own thoughts and feelings, but the judgment that you may receive from others. And then, of course, you have to deal with your own thoughts and feelings and how you feel about yourself, which you can have areas of shame, areas of guilt about things, areas of disappointing your parents, of your brothers and sisters. How will people take you? Will friends accept you? Will friends accept that? One of the hard things that I had was friends, male friends, accepting that they were my friends, and that didn't necessarily mean that I was attracted to them. I also had the same problem with female friends, because I've dated men and women. That female friends understanding, hey, you're my friend, and that doesn't mean that I'm attracted to you either. There's a misnomer sometimes around sexuality that because your sexuality points in one direction or in another direction, everything within that direction or within that viewfinder is something that you're sexually attracted to or is someone that you're sexually attracted to. Unfortunately, part of that myth has overlapped into people with other than heterosexual identities or sexual identities, so that they too sometimes, or most times to be really honest, lead with their sexuality rather than their personality or rather than their character. So this is why sometimes it's difficult for men especially. Women don't have as much of this problem because they're naturally taught growing up as women in society how to communicate and how to relationally be more intimate with one another, or women are taught how to be intimate with others, so they're easier to able to see that someone else is an other. Men, especially men who have a different than heterosexual sexuality, are raised, especially men of color and Latino men, look at the opposite ends of the spectrum, machismo, and the fragility of black manhood. So you have this hyper-masculinity, hyper-Latin masculinity, and at the same time you have this hyper-masculinity of an African-American man or of a black man, but there's more of a design of fragility around it. The Latino masculinity is relating to women as well as the family and center. Unfortunately, because of racism and slavery, the same things don't apply to black manhood. So black manhood for the individual becomes something that you have to design for yourself. You have to find mentors for yourself if you're not lucky enough to have fathers or brothers or uncles to teach you some of the lessons of manhood. And here's a big thing for men of color to learn. You cannot learn to be a man from a woman, because what is a woman teaching you? Her perception of a man, the things she likes, agrees with, and may want in a man, or may actually feel comfortable with in a man. But there are some things that one learns from another man that can only be learned from another man. I tell people in my workshops that the reason why cats don't raise dogs and dogs don't raise cats is because they're two different kinds of animals. And we're socialized as men and women to be two different kinds of animals in society, even though we're very similar, but we're socialized differently. So one of the things that men are socialized with is this masculinity energy, that in order to be a man, you must be masculine. And this is the reason, and this is the one of, maybe we can actually make a list one day, one of the reasons why gay men have the most trouble finding other men to be with. Because if you haven't balanced out your masculinity, understanding that's just surface personality, inside your character is actually your manhood and what makes you a man. So if you're flamboyant, if you're effeminate, if you're all of those things, you may have the characteristics of loyalty, of caring, of compassion. Here's an excellent definition by Dr. Patricia Allen, one of my personal favorite people, of how one defines a man. The difference between a boy and a man. A man is someone who is grown to the point where he understands how to put others, women, and children, their safety and their well-being ahead of his own in protection and caretaking. A boy is someone who's asking about give me me, give me me, give me me, to me, to me, to me, hedonistic pleasures, to just taking care of themselves, to it being a choice. So when we think about what manhood actually is, it's about, in whether it's an immediate blood family, whether it's a company family, whether it's a friendship family, whether it's a family of your creation, that taking care of them, a man being a leader of a village, of a tribe. One of the things that I've challenged with a couple of times in workshops when people talk to me about manhood and masculinity is to, if everyone, sometimes men challenge back, I'm 100% masculine, I'm 100% masculine. And I say, well, are you a lumberjack? Are you a titan of industry? What defines that? What energy of your masculinity have you used for the rest of the world? Well, I'm masculine because I work out 5 times a week. Well, I'm masculine because I do this, because I have this, because I am sexual, because I'm a top. There's a big one. So those things are surface things. What if your job goes away? What if you have some kind of horrific injury? What if you have prostate cancer? So you're no longer able to be a top. Are you still a man? What if you're a bottom? Are you still a man? Not masculine, but a man. Remember, masculinity is personality. Manhood is character and action.